What's going on, y'all? This your boy KCFL, King Self for Life Wrestler Takes back again. It's a day late, but y'all know I'm always gonna come and give y'all that good word. Let y'all know how I feel about the show. AEW Dynamite yesterday. How did I feel about the show? Yesterday's show for me was a good show, but I still feel like AEW gotta cut it out with all this. I gotta get everybody and mama on the show. It was too many clowns on this show. We had too many multi-man matches. Y'all know how I feel about a million multi-man matches. And I understand, I get it. The trios titles is around the corner, so we're going to be having multi-man matches like crazy. But the way how this show was booked, a lot of these matches that happen really shouldn't even been on the show. You got to have the people that needs to be on the show. You put those clowns on the show. The cats who don't need to be on the show, you do not have to have those cats on the show. You know. But let's go ahead and break down, and I'm also going to address, because there's still a lot of people in the IWC, especially the cats that look like me. They still kind of got cause to pause when it comes to AEW, when it comes to representation. And I'm going to talk about that when I get there. But let's go ahead and break down the show. We open up the show. Oh, and this is also, too, a tribute to the late fallen soldier, our homeboy, Mr. Brody Lee. They was live from Rochester, New York. That was his backyard. That's where he was supposed to debut last year if it wasn't for the pandemic. So this show was basically dedicated to Mr. Brody Lee, We open up the show, Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy. I say this all the time. Adam Cole is over like a mug. I mean, come out, he do the boom, he do the Adam Cole baby. I mean, the crowd, they eat it up. They love it. Jungle Boy is over. The reason why he's over, because he has a theme song and he's hanging out with Luchasaurus, and I think he's pretty decent in the ring. Now, everybody know my main man, Mr. OTRS Central. He can't stand Jungle Boy for nothing. I saw what he had to say. He said the man is vanilla like it ain't nothing. Look at, man. I get it. I know you want Luchasaurus to be the guy that they need to push, and they should, but I guess this is who they choose to go with. I get it. Jungle Boy should learn how to cut a promo. I get it. But it is what it is, man. This is what they rolling with. Jungle Boy is supposed to be one of the ones of the future, but this is what they got to go with. How do I feel about this open match? By far, this was the best match on the show. Outside the main event, this is the best match on the show. I mean, what are you going to get when you put two clowns that know what they're doing and allow them to go? Now, for me, the spot of this whole match was when Adam Cole did I don't even know what that move is, but it's that finisher move. When you do this devastation move, that's it, lights out, right? Adam Cole did the move to Jungle Boy, and when Arby went down to get the 3 count, that man kicked out, and Adam Cole looked shocked. He looked at Arby. Arby, her reaction, she looked at him and she said, "I get it. It should have been the 3 count," but he kicked out at 2. And the way how their eyes looked at each other, I loved it. I said, that's what I'm talking about. See, for me, if you want to have a great match, in my opinion, everybody has to play their role. Chemistry must be there, the ref must be there, and the crowd must be into it. If you want a match to be great. For me, this is a very good match. Adam Cole ended up winning because obviously, he had to cheat. Now, he didn't have nobody come out there and interfere. But all three of them both of them was on top of Arby. So Arby really didn't she had a back turn. So Adam Cole was able to do the low blow to Jungle Boy. Did the finish and did his move, 1, 2, 3 match over with. So right after that, here comes the Elite. Here come all these goofy clowns. The Super Click Boys. You know what I'm talking about. Young Bucks, the Good Brothers, Nakazawa, Brandon Cutler, and Kenny Omega. Now, I said to myself, there's a certain somebody who's missing. Don the Clown was missing. I was looking for the main circus leader. The main circus leader, the one with the forbidden door, the guy, the hand, or whatever you want to call himself. Don the Clown was missing in this segment. But I guess his elite brethren really didn't need him. So they came out there. Carl Anderson with his garbage behind hopped on the mic talking about how if you want to be great, you got to have the best tag team on the planet. You got to have the Impact Tag Team Championships. You got to be like the Young Bucks. You got to be like Kenny Omega, who's the AEW champion. You got to be like Mr. Adam Cole, baby. You just went down the list and praised everybody in the group. So then everybody just had to say a little something. Then eventually Kenny Omega started to say some stuff, right? Talking about Bryan Danielson and all this stuff. Then that's when, speaking of the man, everybody started doing the yes chants, and then that's when he came out. And then he pretty much told uh, Kenny Omega, listen, sir, you think you all there in a bag of chips, right? Well, why don't you go ahead and fight me? But you don't have the balls. And when he said that, he said, Kenny, no balls will make it. It became a trend. It was trending all over the place. So from here on out, everybody going to refer to Kenny Omega as Kenny, no balls will make it. I loved it. That was excellent. So they was talking about where we can have a match on Rampage. If they even want to have a match, we can have a match right here tonight. Trying to bait himself into fighting. How do I feel about Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan Part 2? My bad. Bryan Danielson Part 2. How do I feel about it? It depends on where you do it. Do you do it at Full Gear? Do you hold off? You know how I am about rematches. I don't want rematches right away. I would let stuff play along, play stuff off, and then eventually give us the rematch. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it so close up there. You be like, oh man, didn't I just see this match? Because we get so freaking tired of the buffoonery that happens over in the E. Seeing the same match 50,000 times a week in the same exact, and just over and over and over again. It's like you just get tired of the sameness. I don't want AEW to fall into that same pattern. Now here's the question. Where do you throw Hangman into the picture? Because we know at this wife gives birth, you know he's due back. And Full Gear is November the 13th. So after that, right? That's when Daniel Bryan, he was like, hey, you think I'm about to walk out to the ring by myself? I got friends. That's when Christian, Jungle Boy, Jurassic, Luchasaurus, and Frankie Kazarian all came out. They all hopped in the ring and started beating the brakes off each other. And then they ran off. So next we got the matchup, which is going to be the Elite versus Bryan Danielson and crew. But on Rampage, we're getting Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. I think that match is going to slap. Looking forward to that match. So that's that segment, man. It was, like I said, I call the Elite clowns for a reason, because to me they silly as heck, but I take them serious. If you get my drift. All right, so let's move on. So we got a backstage segment, the Lucha Bros, backstage with my man Andrade. He walks up to him and he says, hey, look, fellas, I want a shot at your tag team championships. But I just don't want a shot at your AEW tag team championships. I want a shot at your AAA tag team championships. And I got friends. And then that's when Ray Phoenix said, hey, anytime, any place, you're on, And he also asked where the heck was Pac at. See, they still playing off this whole thing. See, things have changed drastically with this whole storyline. We were supposed to, eventually, what was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Ric Flair taking over Andrade. But because of the buffoonery he decided to get himself caught up in, it messed that up. So, we won't be seeing Ric Flair ever. So now they trying to rejuvenize Andrade. Andrade's still coming across like a man of $1 million bucks, as he sounds great. Like I said, people get caught up on his English dialect. My man he's getting better and better with his English. And I look at whatever they doing with him, I'm rolling, I'm down with it. I'm cool with it. Now, this random match, the match that was randomly put together just because we needed to have Cody on television. Matt Sydal, Dante Martin versus Cody Rhodes and my homeboy Lee Johnson. Y'all, the storylines that basically happened after this match. How did I feel about this match? This is actually a very good tag team match. It was real quick. 1, 2, 3, got to the point. You already know how over Matt Sydal and Dante Martin are. Lee Johnson, for me, the spot in this match was right at the beginning. Well, it's two spots for me. At the beginning, Arn Anderson told Cody, we're going to have Lee start this match. He told him, no, I'm going to start this match. Then, towards the end of the match, Cody was basically hanging in the middle of the ring My man Lee Johnson literally hopped in the ring, pulled that boy by his trousers, and tagged himself in. Basically to finish the job by doing a move on my man Dante Martin, getting a 1-2-3. So now, what's everybody talking about? The aftermath of this match. Arn Anderson cut one of the greatest promos I've ever seen him cut. And I'm going to read it word for word if they got it down here. Let me see what he says. Hold on. Okay, so all right, here he is. So Tony Schiavone was in the ring. He tried to talk to see what was going on with them. And Arn Anderson hopped in the ring. And he said, Cody said, hey, why doesn't Malachi Black come out here right now? Then Arn Anderson said, hey, homeboy, slow your roll. He said, stop talking. He said, listen, Anderson said, Black has destroyed every one of us. This is Cody's fight, but he has let Black walk all over him. He says Black is an assassin and a predator. Anderson says he would fight him, but he's too old. Anderson says he would shoot a carjacker while Cody wouldn't. This promo got weird, quote unquote. That's what they said. No, this promo was excellent. This is basically what he said. He said, he said, Cody Rhodes, you're the type, when carjacker comes your way, you're the type that basically is a pushover. He'll say, hey, you can have the car, just don't hurt me. I'm the type that pulled out my Glock and shoot and blow the fool's brains out. Listen, when that man said that, Arn turned into a instant meme, internet sensation. He basically said, look, I ain't rolling with you no more because you a punk. At least Lee Johnson listens to me. I was like, yeah, this is crazy, man. I said, look here, whatever they plan on doing with Cody, because a lot of people are just tired of him as a babyface, and I am too. I'm tired of Cody as a babyface. I really am. I really want to see how this heel Cody Rhodes run would be. But yeah, the Arn Anderson jokes, talk about Arn Glock and Glock Anderson, and I mean just the jokes. Listen, the age that we living in now, it's all about social media. It's all about the memes. It's all about the likes. And when he said what he said, social media popped off. Everybody went crazy with the memes and everything. But see, that's how you get over. And you know, it is what it is. And I'm going to talk about, I forgot to talk about it too. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. Rose to the Top. I watched the first episode. I'm going to get my honest opinion on how I feel about this show. Next. Now, here we go again. I told y'all how I feel about multi-man matches. I feel like certain matches that just be thrown together just to be on the show because they got to have every fool in their mom on the show. Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allen with Sting versus Bear Country and Anthony Green. This was basically a jobbers match. I don't know, man. I think Darby and Sting work great as a tag team by themselves. Moxley and Eddie Kingston as a tag team, for me, I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know. I think their greatness just outshines both of one another. It's just like Moxley was great by himself. Eddie Kingston was great by himself. Now it just seems like I feel like they've been lost in the shuffle. And it's like let's just throw them in the trios here, let them do this. And I feel like they have no direction. I feel like Moxley has no direction right now. Kingston has no direction now. What took place later on with Darby Allen, I'm actually feeling that. But when it comes to Moxley and Eddie Kingston, these are two of the greatest wrestlers that AEW has right now, and I feel like they really don't have nothing for them right now. You know, they've been fighting everybody from the Forbidden Door, especially from New Japan side, but outside of that, like, what are we going to do? Now, there's been a lot of speculation about Moxley going heel. Does he turn on Eddie? I don't know. I can't even call it. But yeah, Bear Country and Anthony Green, you know what, man, I'm sorry. These cats just don't do it for me. I've seen Bear Country. I've seen them a little bit. I've seen them on Dark. And this Anthony Green guy, they just don't do it for me. I'm sorry. I feel like Moxley, Kingston, and Darby could have went against somebody else. But this is just, once again, I got to get everybody on the show. This is Tony Khan. Please quit doing that. This is one pet peeve that I'm starting to see a lot of, and I'm getting tired of it. You do not have to have every fool on the freaking show. I'm like, dog, cut the foolishness out, man. You know, if you want to have the clowns on the show, let them cut a promo or let them do something, and then which will build up to eventual match with whatever they plan on doing. I don't want to see just a random 6-man tag team match for absolutely no reason. Just because I say I got to get these clowns on the show. No, you don't have to get these fools on the show. But like I said, it is what it is, man. But that's it. So then, so yeah, after the match, uh, they tried to do a little something, and then Sting, he hit the Scorpion Death Drop on Green. Everybody was celebrating, and they was also holding up Brody Lee signs in celebration. You know, like I said, it was a celebration of life. Like I said, because our fallen soldier. My God, look at, man, I still can't believe that boy gone. You know, I remember I was out working, and I got a text message, and I thought I was reading things. I was like, wait a minute, did this dude really pass away? I was like, dang. But man, homeboy, his legend lives on. He lives on, man, and he's tremendously missed. Like I say, I wish he was still around, man. I really do. Ruby Soho cut a promo talking about how, even though she fell short against Dr. Britt Baker, she said she felt alive being in front of the 20,000 fans. She felt rejuvenated, and with this promo, they also blended in from Britt Baker, so Britt Baker got an opportunity to talk. Now, I don't know about y'all. Well, listening to Britt Baker sounded like she was tired. She sounded like she really had no passion cutting that promo. Now, Britt Baker's an excellent promo. She can talk behind all. But for some reason, this promo, this little vignette between her and Ruby Soho, they sound like they want to do it again. It sounds like they want to go back and run this back. And if they run it back, I guess you do it at Full Gear. Now, we know she's not winning. We know she ain't winning. Now, I know a lot of people really don't want to see that. I agree. Maybe you probably do this on another Rampage, or you do this on another Dynamite maybe a couple weeks from now. But Britt, she just sound tired. Like, she looked tired. She sound tired. Jamie and Rebel standing there looking like they was trying to hold her up. She didn't. I mean, I got she was saying that she's the DMD and ain't nobody gonna beat her. And Ruby Soho that stepped into her yard, and I showed her exactly who she is, which is nothing. I'm still the AEW Women's Champion. Anybody want to cover me, they can come, or something like that. But she looked like she was sleepy, and look, we all know why. I told her personally. I said the young lady is, think about it. She's a jack of all trades. She's a professional wrestler and she's a dentist. Two things. She's working her behind off daily. She come to work on Wednesday nights, then she be out the door. Got to head back to wherever her base is. I don't know if her base is in Pittsburgh or wherever that base is, where she does her dentistry work. And it's a full shift. I think she said from 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 at night. Young lady, I take my hat off to her. Like, you can't be mad at it. You cannot be mad at the young lady. That's why Adam Cole is a blessed man. That's all I gotta say. That boy is a blessed man. But for some reason, this promo, she looks tired. Like, I was looking at her in the way how she sounded. She didn't sound like she had the oomph like how she usually does. She had that like, oh, I'm about to go off. I'm about to go off on this woman right here. Who she thinks she is. No, she just sounded like, yeah, I'm the DMD, and I came through and I beat you, Ruby, and Ruby, you think you're all. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, man, my girl sounds tired. She must have did that right after she got through from doing a shift at the dentistry or something. I don't know. But like I said, it was a decent promo. But like I said, Britt Baker, she just sounds tired to me. Now, I know what this matchup was for. This matchup was a celebration of Brody Lee. Because everybody who was involved in this match had something to do with Brody Lee. This was Orange Cassidy and the Dark Order versus the Hardy Family Office. I told y'all how I feel about these multi-man matches. These multi-man matches really don't do anything. All it does is just be a bunch of chaos. It's a bunch of chaos of buffoons acting the fool, doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. You know, trying to get cats to call up. Now, they were telling the story because they was letting you know that the Dark Order still has a lot of tension. Every member in the freaking Dark Order was getting into it. From Alex Reynolds to John Silver to 10 to Stu Grayson to Evil Uno I mean, all of them. Even negative one, he came out with him, man. This is, like I said, look, I take my hat off to that young man. Like, that young man is strong. That boy is strong. The fact that he has such a hardcore family wrapping their arms around him, his brother, and his mother. So, like I said, all the buffoonery that was going on in this match. I mean, from Matt Hardy's crew doing all the stupid stuff they was doing to the Dark Order getting into it with one another, just chaos, right? So during the middle of the match, even Uno Stu Grayson was starting to get into it, and they walked off. And as soon as they walked off, here come Tay Conti, Anna Jay, negative one, because I think negative one ran back. Negative one, he ran. I don't think he left. He had left, ran back out there with his mama, Amanda Hubbard, and they came to the ring, and they told them, "You better get your butts in order. What the heck are you all doing? You know Brody Lee wasn't like this." And even negative one threw the towel at him, just like how Brody Lee used to do when he was alive. He would throw the towel at them when they started acting the food. Negative one did the same exact thing. That was like a tribute. That was nice. So they got their behinds together. They got back in the ring, finished the deal, handled the business, got the 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to remember. Let's see who was the one that got pinned. Everybody did the move on. Who did they do the move on? Who did they do the move on? They did the move on. They did the move on somebody. I don't know. They did the move on one of them. They did the move on one of them. Got the 1, 2, 3. They ended up winning. Like I said, man, it's just like I said. I get it. It was a tribute for Brody Lee, but that matchup, man, y'all I just can't. These multi-man matches just don't do it for me, man. I'm serious. They don't do it for me. I'm like, I can't focus on what Cats is doing because there's so much buffoonery going on in the ring. I'm like, I'm trying to focus, but I can't. Those matches to me don't be wrestling matches. That just be hey, we got to get everybody and mama on the card. We know this doing a tribute. We got to get everybody and their mama on the card. That's how I go. Oh, and there was a lot of speculation that Mr. Wyndham Rotunda would make his debut. I'm glad he didn't. I said, you don't want to blow all your candles in one glow. You don't. You do not want to do that. And I'm glad he did not show up. I think the best time to debut him is on the October 29th episode of Rampage. This is a way where you can get a lot of clowns to tune in to Rampage because a lot of fools going to say, oh, man, that fool's showing up. Let me watch. After this, that's when everybody started doing the Brody Lee chants. Everybody was happy. Now, my man. Now I thought homeboy was retiring. He said he was retiring. I thought, okay, this is the end of Leo Rush. Leo Rush cut a awesome promo. He said Tony Khan gave him a call and said, hey man, we want you to come work for AEW. Listen, y'all. So all right, let me go ahead and break this stuff down right here. Because I said I was gonna talk about it because we can't talk about it. First and foremost, let me go ahead and shout out a couple of the cats that I talk about. I'll talk to a lot on here. I talked to my main man Uncle D. I talked to, everybody knows who Seahawk is. Seahawk, one of the most famous clowns on this planet. I call him a clown because he's funny. He said, but he's my guy. He's something else. All the tweets he be doing. He be posting all them goofy tweets and everybody just be talking about him. And so many others that's in the IWC. And the one thing about us, when I say us, I'm talking about black wrestling folk. We talk a lot about race because we want to see the cats that look like us shine. We want to see the cats that look like us succeed. We want to see the cats that look like us potentially get into the main event scene, not just main event scene, to start winning championships. Whether that's the tag team, whether that's the AEW, whether it's the women's AEW championship, whether that's the TNT, it don't matter. We just want to see it. So a lot of times when we bring this up, we get a lot of pushback. We get pushback from all arenas. And when it comes to AEW, there's even a split when it comes to the black wrestling Twitter. Because there's half of us that's actually on board with AEW because we got tired of the buffoonery that was taking place over in the E. Even though Vince McMahon is giving us every championship he can possibly give us, he ain't booking the cats right. Now, when I say he ain't booking the cats right, I told you at the end of the day, I don't want a bunch of tokenism. See, what goes on over in the E, that's tokenism. That's the let's go ahead and give the black champion the championship so black folk can shut the heck up. We're not really serious about pushing them. We're not really about giving them a real, genuine, feel good situation. Now, don't get me wrong. Big E winning the championship, everybody was happy. I was happy for the man, but Vince and them could have done that a whole lot better. They didn't have to just do that for a ratings grab. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, fast forward to what's going on over here in AEW. They're genuine. Now, I know a lot of people said that if you put out a cat like a Britt Baker, or you put out a cat like a Darby Allen, or you put out a cat like an MJF, and how we had no, in Jungle Boy, Orange Cassidy, we had absolutely no idea who these clowns was. Now these clowns are sitting on top of the mountain in AEW, and they saying that they could do the same exact thing with us. And I'm saying, well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do that with a Will Hobbs. They're trying to do that with a Jade Cargill. They're trying to do that with a what you call it? What's that name? Well, Darius is not there because he hurt, but they're doing it with a Dante Martin. They're doing it with a Big Shorty Lee. I would say they're doing it with Private Party, but I feel like ever since they didn't hook them up with Matt Hardy, Private Party didn't really fell down. Private Party was over like a mug after that first episode, whether they beat the Young Bucks, they was over like heck. Now they just fell back. And so a lot of our people is like, well, you can get them, you can push them more. You can keep on doing it. And I agree. They sure can. But I want to see them cats not only be pushed right, but I want to see them develop when it comes to wrestling. I don't want them to just be thrown out there, oh, look, we got some black folk. Because then I agree, it would turn into some tokenism. Oh, look, we got some black folk right here. We got some. I'm like, I want the stuff to be genuine. I want the cats to look like me, to be very genuine, to be where it's not this, like I said, it ain't tokenism. It ain't like, oh, look, we did this because they was falling to the pressure. Black Wrestling on Twitter didn't put the pressure on the AEW. Trust me, they have. And then, don't even get me started on Brandy Rose stuff. I'm going to talk about her in a little bit. But, like I said, I'm liking what they're doing right now. I'm liking what they're doing with Jade. I'm liking what they're doing with Will Hobbs and them. I'll say, man, let me tell y'all something. When the time comes, y'all, everybody, look, I don't want to hear it because it's coming. I know people don't want to be patient. I know they don't. People like, they want to get it right now. I'm like, I would rather them be 100% ready than being pushed out there and then they fail and then what? You get my drift? I don't want them to go out there and then make up, they have them looking silly as heck because they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, I'm rooting hard for them. I'm rooting hard for AEW to get us right. That's why I keep saying, AEW, this is about to be year 3. Get us right. Get us right. Because there's a whole lot of cats in the IWC that constantly come against y'all. They say all elite egg whites or whatever you want to call all elite white folk. And I know it because, like I said, I just name dropped all them cats. I just name dropped the Young Bucks. I didn't even talk about Kenny Omega and Daniel Bryan and them and then see them. I didn't even talk about them. Because I genuinely want to see everybody eat. And look what they doing right now. Sammy Guevara, Hispanic dude, just won the TNT Championship. The Lucha Bros, Hispanic dude. So let me tell y'all something. When cats say diversity, they ain't talking about diversity. They just talk about black folk. And see, I'm about to say something that might get me messed up in the IWC. I do not use the terminology people of color. You want to know why? Because a lot of people don't understand. Every person on this planet is a color. I don't care what skin tone you have. This is why I don't say people of color. I just straight up say black folk. Because this is exactly who we're talking about. We ain't talking about nobody else. We just specifically talking about black people being pushed right in wrestling. And it does not matter what company it is. So I don't say people of color. I say black. So y'all can keep on saying that people of color foolish is all you want. This just won't be coming from me. But I just want to address that situation. I'm here for the long road. And then, matter of fact, we about to talk about it. I'm going to talk about Scorpion Sky segment in a minute. How I actually enjoyed that segment. I know there was a lot of people that were saying that Ethan Page saved them from the fans or whatever. I say, y'all can say what the heck you want to say. But I like what AEW is trying to do. I get it. It might not look like how we want it to look right now. But what is the end goal? The end goal is to get all those cats' names that I say. I didn't even talk about Captain Sean Dean. I really want to see what they're going to do with him. Keep pushing these cats. And how the heck can I even miss my boys, the Acclaim? The Acclaim, man, look at, I was not with the Acclaim on day one, but them boys they grew on me so much. Then my girl, right now, who's my favorite female wrestler in AEW? My favorite female wrestler in AEW is Red Velvet. And she don't even be on TV all the time. That's my favorite. I told you, I get behind mines. I do. Some people say they don't be checking. Yeah, I do. I check for mines. I check for mines just like I like everybody else who I see. But I say Red Velvet about to be the one. Just like Jay gonna be the one. You get my drift? You know, and I was even talking about Big Swole before they started pushing Big Swole. She ain't been feeling too well. You know, I forgot what kind of situation she got going on, but which I'll be definitely keeping her prayer. But Big Swole, she was on the rise, you know. And she just had that matchup with her and Diamante about last month, right? Which was excellent. I watched that match on Dark. That was great. That's why I say, man, it's a lot of people who use this talk because sometimes they just use this to hate on AEW. I know exactly why, because they try to compare it based on what they see what's going on over in WWE land. And I told you what's going on over there. There's a whole lot of tokenism going on in the E. Yeah, we got championships over there in the E, but are we being booked right? No, we're not. Like I said, we go to WWE land just to be shucking and jiving all day long. I'm like, that's not my game. I don't like shucking and jiving. I talk about the shucking and jiving aspect when it comes to the black wrestlers gimmicks every chance I get. A lot of people, you're not going to hear this on a lot of people's wrestling channels because they're not going to address it because they're scared to talk about it. Because then you got people who say, what do you mean by shucking and jiving? Go and look at the New Day. Then take a look at how Bobby Lashley was being presented. Now, here's the deal. The New Day are great wrestlers. Big E is an excellent wrestler. Kofi is an excellent wrestler. Xavier Woods is an excellent wrestler. It is the gimmick of how Vince McMahon sees them. He sees them as buffoons, shucking and jiving, acting a complete fool, doing all that crazy stuff. Look at my man R-Truth. Look at how R-Truth was before he came back to the E, when he was over in TNA. Come over there now, he the dumb black man. Bobby Lashley and Bianca, before she got squashed, were the only two, my bad, Bobby Lashley, MVP, and the Hurt Business, which was Cedric and Shelton Benjamin, were the only four cats that actually, five, that weren't buck dancing. They was just being them. Vince McMahon did not like that. See, a lot of people, you're not going to hear this. I keep hearing people ask, why did Vince McMahon break up the Hurt Business in the first place? There were four black businessmen who handled their business and they wasn't chucking and jiving. Vince McMahon did not like that. They was running the game. Bobby had the WWE Championship. Cedric and Shelton had the Raw Tag Team Championships. MVP was the mouthpiece. They was great. Vince McMahon said, and they was getting over with everybody. So, like I said, here's the deal. Now I'm going to talk about the people that be saying, well, why do black people always have to be serious? No, we don't. It's one thing to be goofy. I talk about the Young Bucks, how goofy they are, but yet I still take them serious. I don't take the New Day serious. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with being goofy. You can be a goof all you want, but when you start doing all that shucking and jabbing, that's why I got to pull back. This is why I got to say, oh no, I don't get down like that. Now I know there's a lot of people in the IWC, especially when the cats that look like me, they think that's cool. If you feel that's cool, that's on you. I'm just telling you, I don't roll like that. And what they did to Bianca, I'm going to keep talking about it. What they did to Bianca at SummerSlam, that was the last straw for me. This is why I don't do reviews for WWE no more. She was a prominent, strong black woman. Athletic, strong, and she knew who she was. She was proud of being a black woman. She was a black wrestler. That's what she was. That's who her attitude was. She was proud, she was black, and she loved it. Vince McMahon shut that woman down after everything that Sasha Banks did, after everything that Bayley did, everything. Shut that mess down at SummerSlam by bringing Becky back and doing that buffoonery that they did. And Becky, at first, I didn't blame Becky. Yeah, she has a lot to blame too, because she actually went up there and said, let's go ahead and do this because I want to be a heel now. Not thinking that you was going to bury that young lady by doing this stupid stuff. And then you know what this foolishness is going to look like. And if Vince McMahon is all on board with this stuff. And then Bianca herself easily could have said, you know what, Vince, Becky, with all due respect, this is not going to look right on pay-per-view. It's not going to look right. But you got to go along with the get along. And this is one of the major reasons why cats like me always bring stuff up like this, because our people want to see us shine, but we don't want to be disrespected. I get tired of seeing the cats that look like me have to go out there and cut a jig just to get over. I don't. That's no, no. I can't. I got too much self respect. No. Then fast forward to what's going over in AEW. When I see the cats that look like me, I want to see them shine, but I don't want to see them turning into what I just explained, what goes on over in the E-Land. I want to see them start doing what they do by pushing them out there like how they've been doing. I know a lot of people said that they really not feeling the small little push that they doing. I'm like, it might look small right now, but I'm enjoying everything that I'm seeing. Now, some of the stuff, like I said, I don't like. Like I can't. I'm getting tired of seeing private party being with Matt Hardy. As much as Matt Hardy is a legend in the game, hanging out with Matt Hardy hasn't done nothing for them. He hasn't. Now I seen the picture with Leo Rush talking with them. If they go that route by putting those two with him, sign me up. Sign me the heck up, because I definitely want to see that. Kudos to Tony for getting Leo Rush. I hope they sign that young man. Oh, and shout out to Tony Khan for signing Kiera Hogan. Now, I wasn't too big on Kiera Hogan either, but I am glad that he signed her as well. You know, I want to see if they can sign that young man Darius something. There is a Darius Lockhart or something like that. I would love for them to sign him as well. You know, so like I said, the more the barrier, the merrier. Add more of us. Come on, they can do it. Like I said, and I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be rooting them on. Like I said, I know a lot of people. They it's like cause the pause. Trust me, I see it. I'm right there in the middle of it. I feel like the IWC is a mixture of a whole lot of stuff. You got all different kind of communities that's being represented in the IWC. But Black Wrestling Twitter be going hard. And especially if it's something that they don't like, they going to speak up about it. You know. And me sitting right in the middle knowing that I'll be going hard for AEW. Like I said, I'm rooting hard for them to get this situation right. Because this is something that we've been seeing. And a lot of people called them out on it. I've been talking about this since day one too. But I ain't been going hard like a lot of them been going hard about it. Because I've just been enjoying the ride with everybody. Because I told you, I enjoy seeing everybody, regardless of what skin tone they are. I enjoy seeing everybody eat. You know. Next after that, we got FTR cutting a promo talking about how they feel like they've been lost in the shuffle. You know, it's funny how everybody sound like they lost in the shuffle. They said that we failed in this and we did this, but we're going to show the world why FTR is the greatest tag team on the planet. And he talked about how Cash almost lost his life and all this stuff. But he said, we coming. He said, we coming for everybody. He said, we ain't playing no more. I said, okay. Well, whatever that mean, you know, I don't know what that mean, but that's what he said. Now, Mr. Dan Lambert, Mr. UFC, Mr. MMA, talking, running his mouth, talking about the fools and the little midgets in the back, because that's what he called them. The crowd was booing the mess out of them. They was booing them. Then my man Scorpion Sky started talking. And Scorpion Sky said the one thing that was like, oh, I know why he said that. He said I was one of AEW's first champions. Now, you know why he put that out there. He put that out there because everybody been talking about what I just got through from talking about. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but a lot of people, they missed it. They missed that line. When he said that, I just put all that together when I just spoke on. Listen, I know there's a lot of people that ain't feeling Scorpion Sky, but listen, I'm getting behind this. Now, I don't know where we go from here. I know they dealing with Jericho and them, so obviously you know Jericho and them are going to have to get their win back because this is the whole terminology of AEW. One person win, and somewhere down the line, the other person got to end up winning. All Ego Page, when he got on the mic, now I told you, I really went down with Ethan Page. Ethan Page is starting to grow on me as well. I was not on that man's bandwagon. After that buffoonish stuff he did before he left Impact, where he ripped his own heart out, I said, how the heck I'm supposed to get behind this clown? I can't get behind him. The stuff that they're doing with Dan Lambert, I am getting behind it. I know it's a lot of people in the IWC don't care nothing about this. I'm getting behind it. This is something that I actually like. I want to see where they go with this. I really do. I want to see where they go with this. I'm going to be paying close attention, as time moves on. Because at the end of the day, we want to see cats rise. We don't want to see cats flunder. Because there's been too much flundering going on with some of these cats over in AEW. And Sky and Ethan Page have somewhat fallen into that. Especially the Scorpion Sky, But that's that segment. It was a very good segment for me. Very good segment. Then, out the woodwork, we got a little promo vignette from my girl, Hikaru Shida. We ain't seen her in a minute. I ain't seen Miss Shida in forever. And she talked about celebration of being the first woman to 50 wins in AEW. And then she talked about, and next week is, I can't believe it, y'all. Next Wednesday, Dynamite is the second, like I said, this is the second episode, second homecoming episode or anniversary. I'm tripping. Anniversary episode. AEW been on for 2 years now. This is going to be the beginning of the year, even though it's year 2. This will be the beginning as we transition over into year 3. Homecoming episode, and a returning Serena Deeb. She called out, said, yeah, it's great that you were celebrating 50 wins, but I'm going to show you why I'm the best technical women's wrestling in professional wrestling history, something like that. Let me tell y'all something about Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb is an excellent professional wrestler. My deal about Serena is she's very injury prone, and I do not want to see my girl keep getting hurt. I don't want to see her get injured. My girl is great. Miss Serena is excellent. She is an excellent professional wrestler. When I seen her with that matchup she had with Rio at Double or Nothing, I was like, yo, that match was excellent. That was great. I was like, but my girl be getting hurt so much. I was like, man, I said, this is what I pray for. I pray for safety for all the wrestlers because I don't want to see these cats get injured. I want to see them go out there and have excellent careers. You know what I mean? So they're going to have their match next week on Dynamite. Now, this match, I was hoping that this match would be better than the single matches that we had from all of them. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't feeling it. Now, like I said, they told the story. Now the ending though, the ending was great. I love that ending. Well, Anna Jay choked the mess out of Penelope. Penelope's eyes dang near rolled in the back of her head. She was choking the mess out of her. I was like, dang. I said, she choking her. She choking the lights out. But, man, see, this is the stuff that cats like, unfortunately, cats like me, cats like Jeff, cats that they brought this up. They said, you put cats on like these who still, quote, I don't use this terminology. This is what a lot of people say, quote unquote, green. But they're green. I would put somebody else who's actually getting better. You know what I'm saying? Now, the matchup we're going to get on Rampage, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But, like I said, outside the finish, I really didn't care too much about this match. But for me, the finish was great. That choke on Penelope before by Anna Jay was excellent. I love that. That was great. That was a great finish that she got. That was great. I'll give her that much. But I think all 4 of these cats can do better. Like I still think Tay, out of all 4, Tay is the best one out of all 4. So then, now, the match that I'm looking forward to Friday night. Now, I know there's a lot of people that was complaining about this match. I don't know why you was complaining. Miss Jade Cargill, Thunder Rosa, and Nyla Rose. Now, this match has been set up. Apparently, this is only for bragging rights. This is not to determine who's going to be the number 1 contender for Britt Baker. So that's a good thing. Everybody cut a promo on everybody. Jay said, I'm about to whip these both you-know-whats. I don't curse. I don't call women out their names. But she said, I'm finna tear up these female dogs left and right. Nyla Rose said, I'm here to break you-know-whats. And then Thunder Rosa, she said what she had to say too. I am looking forward to this match because this match is about to bang. You got Thunder Rosa, who is an excellent wrestler. Nyla Rose, who's somewhat a great wrestler. And my girl, Miss Jade. Miss Jade is coming. I'm telling y'all, the young lady is coming. I'm getting behind her. Like I said, she getting better. She still need work. I'm not going to say quote unquote, like I said, I don't like to use the terminology green, but there's some things that Miss Jade needs to work on, she can work on. But I think this matchup is about to slay. I'm getting behind this matchup. I'm looking forward to this. I want to see this matchup. And I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I think Miss J gonna mess around and win this match. I know, talking to my boy D, he think Thunder Rosa gonna win this match, but I got a feeling Miss J gonna mess around and win this match, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see my girl Miss J Cargill get this victory. Now, we know who the one is going to have to get pinned because we got to protect Thunder. Thunder can't get pinned, so it will only make perfect sense for my girl Miss J to pin Nyla Rose. Makes perfect sense for me. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Now, we got Mr. I can't help but talk because he's one of the best talkers in the game right now. Mr. MJF and Warlord, they come out, they address the crowd. Talked about how Rochester, New York does not deserve a cat like him. It's a terrible city. All this crazy stuff. So then he goes down the list and he puts over by disintegrating all four of these cats. He said, I'm a part of the four pillars that basically put AEW on the map. Jungle Boy, I beat him. Sammy Guevara, I beat him. Darby Allen, one of them. And then he said himself, he's the final pillar. So he pretty much said that all four of these cats are running AEW as we speak. And he said, but without him, AEW ain't nothing. Oh, and he told Tony Khan, he said, I got a certain Bruce Britcher on speed dial. If you ever not put me in the A, because he said I deserve to be AEW World Champion right now. Now, he just trolling. But people that ran with that. So all MJF talk about going to the E. Dang well that fool ain't never going to no E. I don't care how much he can talk. He can say that he got that fool on speed dial all he want. He ain't going to no doggone E. I can tell you that. This fool is an AEW lifer. Now, it would be very shocking if somehow, if maybe 4 or 5 years from now, he decides to run to the E, which would make no sense to me. But if he does, so be it. Right after that, so Darby comes out in the suit. Darby comes out, tries to cut a promo. Oh, how the heck did I even miss? I apologize. CM Punk was on commentary the whole time, and CM Punk was trolling everybody. I loved it. He said what he had to say in certain spots. He never override anybody. CM Punk sound great. Y'all know I can't stand a 4-man team. I think for me, I think 2 guys are perfect. 2. Like I say. But the 3-man team, Excalibur, JR, Tony Schiavone, is perfect for Dynamite. They still trying to figure out what they going to do over on Rampage. But those 3 is perfect. CM Punk, he did his thing on commentary. I forgot. Like I said, forgive me. I was so focused on what happened on the show, I forgot to mention that. So forgive me. I apologize. CM Punk was excellent. And doing this match, CM Punk chance doing this promo, CM Punk chance was reigning. Everybody was saying it. And MJF tried hard to push it off. It's eventually, y'all know we're going to get to that. Y'all do know we're going to get MJF versus CM Punk. That's going to be when MJF is the AEW World Champion. That's when we're going to get that. We're not going to get that right now. I know fans are clamoring for it, but we're not going to get that right now. So, MJF mentions Darby's father. I mean, is his father or his uncle? Yeah, he mentions his uncle passing, and he said this is why he's a straight edge guy and all of this. And Darby said, you can try to break me mentally, but you won't be able to, or something like that. And then that's what MJF said. I'm not gonna break you mentally. And he just walked off. So in a way, I'm kind of looking forward to this because, as you can see, Darby is still dealing with cats in the Pinnacle. We started with him and Sting versus FTR and Tully. Now we moved on to Darby, MJF, and Warlord. You see, there's something building going on right there, and I'm looking forward to this. Now, Darby Allen, still not the best promo, still not, but I gotta give him props for doing something that he's trying to get comfortable with. This is one thing that I will put over him than Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy still needs to learn how to talk. My man Darby, at least he's not the best talker, but at least he's coming along. And I give him that. I can respect that. I can totally respect what they doing here, So I'm looking forward to what they plan on doing with this feud. I'm looking forward to it. So now we got the main event. Sammy Guevara versus Miro for the TNT Championship. Y'all, I'm going to be very honest with you all. I'm going to be very honest. I still think Miro had something to give with that TNT Championship. Not to say that I'm not happy for my boy, because y'all know I'm one of the biggest Sammy Guevara fans on the planet. I still think Miro should have retained. That's just me. Because we've been talking about CJ over. He's been talking about my wife. I'm going to get on top of my flexible wife and all this. I'm God's favorite champion, and then I got my wife and all this stuff. I'm sitting up here saying to myself, well, when he keep talking about it, she comes on in. He's still running around with the TNT Championship. And then this is when I guess you want to say if they push this all the way to full gear, then that's when you pull the trigger. They decided to pull the trigger last night. Sammy Guevara is your new TNT champion. How do I feel about this as him being the champion? I am going to get behind it because I'm one of the biggest Sammy Guevara fans. Like I said, I personally think Miro should have retained. That's just me. Y'all could probably feel a whole different way about it. But for me, I think Miro should have retained. We already getting ready to get that man, Sammy Guevara, versus Bobby Fish randomly out the woodwork. So this whole Forbidden Door thing is still popping. Bobby Fish works for MLW, if I'm not mistaken. Match was excellent. These two, listen, Miro does his role well as the big man. He has mastered the matchup of the big man versus little man. Excellent. Miro had one of the best TNT title reigns I've seen, period. Outside of Brody Lee. Brody Lee is the best. As of right now, this is how I ranked TNT Champion. Number 1 is Brody Lee. Number 2 is Miro. Number 3, Darby Allen. Number 4, who's the 4th one? Is it Cody? Yeah, it's Cody. Yeah, Cody. Cody, yes. That's that. And then, like I said, Darby just gets, so it's only been 5. So, yeah, so that's how I rank it. So, Brody Lee's number 1, Miro number 2, Darby number 3, Cody. Now we got, I want to say Sammy Guevara. We're going to see how this run is. Miro did what he had to do to make that title feel very important. Felt like a main event title. I know a lot of people like to call it the mirror. It's not. They treated that title as if it was a main event title because it main evented on Dynamite. It's main evented on Rampage. You treat that title with respect. That's what they did. That's what they tried to do with Miro. I still feel like Miro had something in the tank. But Sammy Guevara is the new TNT champion. So overall, Dynamite was good. For me, you don't need to have every buffoon on the show. You don't need them or her. You don't need everybody on the show. And the cats that you do need on the show, you don't put them on. You know. Now, let me go ahead and talk about Rose to the Top. This is the side, the quote-unquote real side of the Rose family. I take my hat off to Brandy of all the crap that she has to deal with. Brandy got all kind of crap coming from every angle, period. And I did not know that Miss Jade and Red Velvet actually had a beef because of the matchup that they had when it was the mixed tag team match. I did not know that. And first of all, I don't like, especially like in real life, I don't like seeing sisters fight. I don't like that. So the fact that Brandy did everything in her power to get them to quote unquote squash their beef, which hopefully for the cameras, I hope they genuinely got care for each other. Because I like both of them. I like Jade and I like Red Velvet. I think they the 1-2 punch if you ask me. They want it. These two girls, they want it. They want to get better. Now, another thing. Brandy talked about she can't wait to prove everybody wrong by getting back in the ring and winning the AEW Women's Champion. I literally had to put the TV on pause when she said that because this is where me and Brandy Rose part ways. I respect the mess out of Brandy Rose, but as an in-ring performer, your young lady gonna have to show me something because I ain't trying to see that. And it's no disrespect to Brandy, but Lord knows I ain't trying to see that. Lord knows I'm not trying to see that at all. I'm not. My girl can talk her behind off. She can talk her tail off, but I am not trying to see her with no AEW Women's Championship. And I order this new one that's from the show, which is the TBS Championship. No. I'm like, no, Miss Bros. I was like, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board. You got to show me that you can actually wrestle before I even think about trying to put you in the title picture. I'm like, oh, no. The other part, talk about Miss Rose. Cody's sister, I did not know that girl. She said that she did not want Brandy to use the last name. I'm like, woman, what the heck is wrong with you? That's your sister-in-law. Do you understand that? She is married to your brother. What in the... I said, this young lady she giving off white supremacist vibes. I hate to call her that, but she coming across like a straight up white supremacist. I'm like, oh no. Oh, I'll say, oh no. She talk about, Cody said she was gangster. I'm like, no, she just sound like a white supremacist. That's what she sound like. I'm like, no, we're going to pump the brakes. But all the stuff is going on, behind the scenes, talked about how they, with the baby and everything, and how Brandy said she was sick all over the place, and then she trying to have meetings, and Cody doing this and doing that. For me, for watching that episode, I really didn't have a problem with what I saw. Outside of what Brandy said about her trying to get back in the ring, and then Cody's sister being on some straight white supremacy, I'm like, oh, no. Other than that, seeing what I saw, and I was like, you know what, man, I don't like reality TV. That's not my cup of tea. But watching that episode, I was like, oh, and then Ricky Stark's part. Who would have thought that young man said that he's nervous? That he don't never come across like he nervous on television. He the real deal. Ricky Starks is the real deal, man. And the situation about him with his neck, I'm like, man, because that's a slippery slope. I get it. He was like, yo, I want to wrestle, but yo, your neck, that's the thing. It's a serious, like, it's a slippery slope. You don't want to go out there and mess something up and then end up not being able to wrestle ever again. So, kudos to him. Like I said, it's decent. Like I said, am I going to continue looking at this stuff? I don't know. I might, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's not my cup of tea, but what I've seen, it was okay. It was better than I expected, because I told you, them the reality shows, no, that's just not me. But other than that, y'all, that is my review. I told you, I come on here, I do my best to be as honest as I can. I don't try to sugarcoat nothing. I don't try to shield for AEW. As much as I love this company, I'm 100% behind TK, but I call TK out when he throw bull crap in front of my face. I call him out, and I'm looking forward to what they do as we move forward. Rampage but I can't wait for Rampage. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to what we're going to get. I forgot what the tag team match is going to be. I forgot what that match is, but I do know what the main event is, and I know that Nick Jackson and Bryan Danielson are going to tear it up in the opener. They're going to tear it up. But that's my review. So next time y'all hear me, I'm going to go in on Rampage. This is what I do. I'll try to get it to y'all Friday night. If I can't get it to you Friday night, expect it on Saturday. That's how I usually do with my review. So this is your boy KCFL, King Self Life. Holla at me.